Since we about to get to work, I need to put this little headband back on. Put this crap to the back. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of our highlighting, contouring, and baking. As you can see, my headband is back on, so that means I mean business. So in our last video, in part 1, we talked about highlighting and contouring, and now we're gonna move on to baking. I kept the same shirt on so that y'all know it was part 1 and now it's part 2. You know, like y'all know I usually try to flex on y'all with the shirts. I didn't do that this time. I just moved right on when we in part 2. Let's talk baking for a second, okay? Baking is pretty much kind of like how it sounds. There's like this whole scientific situation going on when it comes to baking. For those of you that may not know what baking is pretty much caking a whole bunch of powder in a certain area on your face. The reason that it is called baking, which I found out recently, is because it basically uses the powder and your body temperature to make the makeup in between the two pretty much just stay on all day, bulletproof. At the end of the earth is going to be the zombie apocalypse, roaches, and your makeup left. Like, that's it. That's basically what baking does, okay? Like, baking makes sure that the makeup that you have on your face is immovable. It's like the Hulk. Like, you cannot move that makeup. It's your face, the makeup that you put on top of that, and then the powder that you put on top of that. The makeup in between becomes completely immovable after you bake it. Now, the question that I got in my inbox was, is baking necessary? Short answer, no, it's not. You do not have to bake your makeup. You do not have to cake powder on your face in certain parts. You don't have to do that. However, is it necessary if you are going for a long wear sort of look? Yes, it is. Is it necessary if it's summertime and you're trying to wear a full face? Yes, it is. Is it necessary if you're going to a family or friend event and you know it's going to be people there that you haven't seen in a long time and you want to hug and greet people and you don't want them to walk off with your face on their clothes? Yes, it is. Long story short, baking is not necessary, but for all the reasons that I actually did name, baking is actually necessary. So what do you do when you bake? Really glad you asked, because I'm about to answer you. Normally, when people bake, they will bake the sides of the nose, under the eye, and the chin area. However, what I found to do and what I've seen other people do is that they will bake along their jawline, like right where we put that contour in the last video, because when you hug someone and you're going to touch, or you always rest your hand on your face and stuff like that, your makeup can come off during those situations. Yes, we rely heavily on setting spray, but if we cake on powder before that and bake it and then put on the setting spray, pretty much your makeup becomes bulletproof, okay? Like, somebody can touch you, they can hug you, you can put your hand on your face, whatever it is, and your makeup will not move. So it's about layering these things so that you can have long wear with your makeup pretty much all day long. Now, when it comes to baking up under your eye, normally what people might do is take a tinted powder like a banana powder or something that is really, really brightening, just because they want under the eye to be very light and popping, because we put that highlighting shade there. So in order for that highlighting shade to be really, really noticeable and popping, sometimes people will bake under the eye. I'm not particularly a bake under the eye type of person, only because it's really drying and I don't particularly like that. But sometimes I do bake under my eye if I really want my makeup to last all day. I'm going to show you guys what I normally bake, or how to bake, so that you know exactly what it's used for. I'm going to take a cosmetic sponge that I have. I use these little sponges all the time just because it's quick and easy, and when I'm on the go or I just want to use something, for example, it's really easy to use. And I'm actually going to use my air spun translucent face powder to bake with, and this powder is translucent, so that means it doesn't have color to it and it's not going to leave color. So I'm just going to take a bunch of the powder, kick it onto the sponge, and I'm going to take it on the bottom and I'm going to drag it across just like this. When you drag it across, it's not going to move your makeup. I drag it across to give myself a line of knowing where I want it to go, and then I tap it in. We're going to take it and we're going to do the other side as well. Get a little bit on my nose, like the end of my nose, and like right here with the nose. And I'm going to bake slightly under my eye, not a lot. That tip of the forehead, just where we put that highlighting shade. Right there, just there. All right, so as you can see, my face is pretty much filled with powder in different spots. I go around my nose this way because my nose is the oiliest spot of my face. So people with an oily T-zone, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Oil sits there, and when you get like sweaty or even just like oily throughout the night, because that's just how your face is normally set up to be, then you know that it might sit in the creases of your nose. So I bake that part so that my makeup does not move out of there, and so that it stays a little bit more matte for longer. So because I highlighted under my eye and right in the middle of my forehead, I bake that part as well so that it doesn't crease and that it can stay highlighted the entire time. Also, another good thing about baking is that it really chisels out your contour and makes it very noticeable. That's also another good reason to bake. Baking normally takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Normally during that time, I'll do other things in my makeup. I'll do like my eyeliner, or I'll put on my lashes or something like that. I might do other parts of my face. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna take this baking situation off. Right, we're back. So it took a bunch of time, and as you can see, I was living life through baking my makeup. I finished the rest of it. I didn't decide to do like a crazy look. I only put on some lashes, some gloss. This is going to be a really quick everyday sort of look, sort of situation. But now it is time to take the powder off. I just take a fluffy brush and make it disappear. Now sometimes with baking, it does leave a little bit of a cast, especially on darker skin. So it might look a little powdery, but using a setting spray at the end does help with that. Something that you can also do is go back over your face with your beauty blender that you used for your foundation and just press in. You don't have to like smear it. Don't wipe it. What you want the powder to do is lay on top of your skin, not be absorbed by your skin. When you're all done your look, make sure that you use your setting spray to make all of your face come back together. To finish off my look, I'm just going to highlight a bit. I don't really highlight when the baking is on because I like to do that as a last step so that it's like super blingy. And this highlighter is also from the beauty supply store. I just thought it was really pretty because it's like a copper-ish. And copper goes really well with my chocolate skin. When my look is done, I'm just going to hit it off with some setting spray to bring it all together. And we're going to just let that dry down to perfection. There you go with your part 2. As you guys can see, I baked certain parts of my face. If you look at the side of my face, you see this level. Down here, you got a little bit of the contour, and you got the contour right here. You got the blush, you got the highlight, and you got some contouring up here. So you see all of that, how all of that goes from the side and how there's levels to everything. We did the baking. Long story short, I told you guys that it is not really necessary, but what the situations that it actually is necessary for. So you got your highlighting, your contouring, and your baking all in one, and you see what it's for, how it's used, all that good stuff, because we broke it down. So So I hope that was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you actually understand and know what highlighting and contouring does and what baking does as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed like breaking all of these things down, and I'm hoping that it's helpful to you. I know that I got inboxed by a couple people to do these things, but I really hope that it's helpful, because I have loved breaking all of this stuff down and teaching you guys from beginning to end how to do certain things and what they all mean. I know you watch me on YouTube and you watch me on accordingtocandicerae.com, but please don't forget, I also hold classes called Arts in Class, where you can come, you can get all of the products that I provide, and you can get all of this teaching, and you get to drink and turn up. You get litty while you get pretty. So don't forget to book an arts in class, and you'll be able to learn and be actually in front of me, have a whole master class on this type of situation right in front of you. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. See you later.